Hey, what's up guys? BriarRabbit here, and in this gameplay I am running around like an idiot with a Cat 40. I got mostly perks. I think I have a couple attachments on this gun, but I am just going absolutely bananas with this gun. I'm just having a good time. I'm actually using it a bit because my next episode of the Black Ops 2 Best Weapon Shootout is going to be the Cat 40 versus the B23R. So I'm playing with both guns right now, trying to get as familiar as possible with them. And I needed kind of a long gameplay because my topic is going to take a bit of time. So the topic is, actually, let me start it off by saying my kids actually came home with report cards. They're on a trimester system. They get 3 report cards a year. It's a little bit weird. But yeah, they came home with report cards. Did very well. I'm very proud of them. But it got me thinking, what would I give Black Ops? What would I give Black Ops 2 if I were to grade, you know, it on its performance so far in this cycle, you know? So I started, you know, I wrote down a few categories like gameplay, weapons, perks, equipment, score streaks, and I just kind of went down the list and I scored it in each category. So I just want to talk about that a little bit, and I'll start off with the gameplay. I give it an A. I feel it's very tight, it's fast, it's fun. I feel like it's the fastest Call of Duty we've had. I'm not sure if that's true, but it feels very fast. It's easy to aim. Aiming, I think Call of Duty gets aiming better than just about any other game except for maybe Halo, and it's right on that same level as Halo. A lot of first-person shooters you play, the aiming just doesn't feel just right. It's like the acceleration and deceleration of the reticle just doesn't feel exactly right. Call of Duty nails it. It's very fluid. You don't get hung up on stuff a lot. It just feels right. It's very fun to play, and I enjoy it quite a bit. Next category is weapons, and I gave them an A on this one too. Weapons are funny, right? Is if you have too many weapons, you can often end up with overpowered weapons. But they did something really special here. Is they added a ton of weapons. Almost all of them are really fun, really useful, and there's not a whole lot of OP. A lot of people talk about the R870. I don't find it to be that OP. It could use a little range debuff, but I really feel like the weapons overall are very good. They're very balanced, and there's a ton of them to pick from. I really like that for the Black Ops 2 Best Weapon Shootout because it gives me a ton of stuff to play with, and that's why I do that series, because I really like playing with different guns. Next up, we have perks, and I'm a little bit more disappointed with the perks. I gave them a B. I am happy that there's nothing that's like truly overpowered. There's no final stand. There's no ghost that just makes you invisible on radar all the time. There's no stopping power. But there's also some perks that are almost useless in this game. I think cold-blooded is basically useless. Awareness is basically useless. So that's too bad. It's good that they got rid of the OP stuff, but now stuff is nerfed so far that it makes it almost not worthwhile to use it at all. So next up we have equipment. Equipment's easy. I gave it a C. It's just kind of boring. It feels a lot the same as we've seen in other games. There's nothing really that innovative in there, so I just gave it a C. Score streaks I also gave a C. Again, I think aside from the swarm, there's not really that much new. There's not much that innovative. And, you know, it's just kind of a little bit boring. I'm hoping to see something a little more exciting in the next game. Graphics, I gave them a B on graphics. Initially, I was thinking C, right? The graphic engine doesn't look like it's that much better than previous games. And for that reason, I was about to give them a C. But I was actually looking back at my Modern Warfare 3 videos, and I started looking at them, I'm like, man, everything is so gray and green and dark brown, and it was just so boring looking. Like, that game was really, everything looked the same. I don't know if you had this problem too, is I often found that it was hard to see characters who were just sitting still because their silhouette just did not, it just didn't stand out against that green and gray of the background. It was really bad. But I find with the Black Ops 2 color palette that they used and the design of the levels, it's just more vibrant, it's more bright, there's more variety from level to level. And for that reason, I bumped them up a letter grade to the B. Sound, I gave them a square F. Look, if you guys can't get the sound whoring stuff right, you know, I want to be able to hear footsteps. I want to be able to hear them when there's somebody behind me. I want to be able to hear footsteps. If you guys can't get that right, I'm gonna give you an F. I actually find that kind of bizarre that Infinity Ward seems to nail the sound every time, and Treyarch just never seems to get it right. It wasn't right at World of War, it wasn't right in Black Ops 1, and it's not right in Black Ops 2. And I don't understand the problem with that. I really want them to fix it. It has gotten minutely better in Black Ops 2, but it's still not right. I can hear footsteps now. Sometimes it's very hard to locate which direction they're coming from, and sometimes, again, they're just not there. Somebody sneaks up behind you, knifes you in the back, and you never even heard them. And I think that's baloney. So until they fix that, F it is. Our next category is going to be the netcode. And I think this might be a little controversial. For me, the netcode is decent. 90% of the time, I don't notice it at all. 10% of the time, or let's say another 9% of the time, I can feel it, but it's not that bad. And 1% of the time, it's just absolutely infuriating. It is the internet, though, right? And the internet is a very complicated, web of connections. And you got people trying to play Black Ops 2 that have awful ISPs. They have 200 millisecond pings. And I feel like for what Treyarch is given, for what the internet is, they do a pretty decent job. And I'll give them a B. I know that a lot of people have worse experiences with the netcode than I do. I feel like it's decent, it's good, it works, and for that they deserve credit. Could it be better? I certainly hope so. I hope that at some point the internet will be so fast for everybody that this will be just a non-issue. But the way the internet operates right now, it's going to remain an issue. It's going to remain an issue for a long time. And I feel like the netcode we have here, it's not too bad. It works. It gets the job done. And I'm happy to be able to have this much of a playable game. Next up, we have support. And support, I give them a B. I didn't give them an A just because I feel like they're a little too slow adjusting to these hacks, right? You see these hacks on YouTube, and it takes a couple weeks for them to get the patch out. I'd like to see them be a little faster. Other than that, though, I think they're very good with the weapon balancing. They've been very responsive. They've improved spawn points. They've moved objectives. I feel like that's really good. They're responding to the community, and that makes me very happy. Support is a big deal. I think Treyarch is way better at this than Infinity Ward ever was. I don't know if you guys remember, Modern Warfare 2 suffered from awful glitches that people exploited all the time, and it just went on forever. I think it was like 6 months before they got some of them fixed. It was terrible. And I feel like Treyarch is much more responsive than this. I feel like they also have some room for improvement. So I'm not going to give them an A, but they get a solid B here. Last one is DLC, and I feel like they're knocking it out of the park with DLC. I am so happy with the Peacekeeper. I really wish they were doing more guns for DLC. I was hoping to see an assault rifle, a shotgun, a new pistol, a new sniper rifle. And I'm a little disappointed that they're not going to be doing that, but I'm really happy that at least they gave us one new gun, and that's more than we've ever seen in any other Call of Duty. Also, the new maps, I love them. I think they're better than the original maps that came with the game, especially Grind and Downhill. I think they're awesome maps. Mirage is really fun. I'm really happy about it. I can't wait to see the new stuff in Uprising. So that'll wrap it up for this gameplay. I hope you had fun watching me run around like an idiot with that pistol. Up on the screen here, you're going to see a couple of videos that you might have missed. On the left-hand side is the playlist for my Best Weapon Shootout series. I think there's 9 episodes at this point. It's a pretty fun series, really by the book, really numbers-based, but there's a little bit of room for interpretation, too. On the right-hand side, I have 9 tips to beat lag compensation. If 1, 2, 3 don't work, then there's 6 more tips. So this is everything I've tried to really kind of get my network as good as it can be to improve my Black Ops experience, and it's worked pretty well for me. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.